welcome back. Good to have you with us. Samaritas connects people with families and communities to empower them, to let them live their fullest lives, the fullest life possible, and also to create a ripple effect of transformation. Here to tell us how they are helping with these diverse foster care programs and different issues is Refugee Foster Youth Services Michelle Haskell and ETV Coordinator Tanya Mackey. Is that right? Did I get it right?
Yeah.
It's good to have you here. We were talking before we got started. Can you give me an overall view of what Samaritas is? What do you try to do? Either one.
So our organization is a large statewide organization. We do a wide variety of human service things. So my program is refugee foster care. We work with unaccompanied youth who have fled their home countries and are seeking safety. We do domestic foster care. We have senior living and assisted living programs, affordable living. So we are a very wide statewide organization.
You're the largest provider of foster care in the state, is that right?
We are, yes.
Yeah. Now, what is the age limit? You help kids, or is it just kids? Is it teenagers?
So in my program, we work primarily with teenagers, and that's not because we don't like to work with small children. It's just because those teenagers are the ones who are typically making a journey on their own, so they're more likely to be coming unaccompanied. So we work with usually 16, 17 years old.
Now, when do you age out of foster care?
In Michigan, you age out at 21.
Oh, 21. I thought it was a little bit younger than that. Now, you can only be, okay, so 21, you're done.
Yep.
Okay. Tanya, you're very important in terms of getting education going. Your program.
Yep. So our program is administered by Samaritas, and we're contracted through the state of Michigan. So we provide educational funding for students who have graduated high school and are now in college, but they had spent some time in foster care, sometime as a teenager. So we provide funding for them while they're in college, and not just college when we speak of community colleges and universities, but also trade programs. So we provide funding for them to attend cosmetology programs and welding programs, construction programs, and things like that, because we know that skilled trades, the need for skilled trades is on the rise.
And the only real requirement is that they did or are spending some time in foster care.
Yep, on or after the age of 14 in foster care in the state of Michigan, they would qualify for our program. And so we actually work with students both that were on the refugee side that came from Michelle's program, as well as domestic foster care, which has been extended in the state of Michigan now as well. So
it's refugee, but it's also others as well.
Right.
That's a big issue today.
Yes, huge issue.
For sure. Now we talked the foster care. I don't want to be negative, but foster care has gotten a bad rep sometimes. How are you dealing with that? And is that still a problem?
It's definitely something that we're fighting. You know, we have families who think that maybe foster children are challenging, or they're in foster care because of some fault of their own, and that's absolutely not true. You know, they're in foster care because of circumstance. And on the flip side, we have people who think that foster parents are, you know, just there to help themselves and not there for kids. And likewise, those people that are foster homes for our programs are there because they want to help kids and they want to make things better for children in foster care, for youth in refugee foster care, and across the board. They just want to help.
And that's the vast majority.
The vast majority.
That's
yes.
good to hear. Because before foster care, I guess that was the orphanage stage, which was not a good situation at all. What about, we're talking about diversity and inclusion. Why is that important in your area? Why is that important?
Absolutely. In my program, that's what we do, right? We work with unaccompanied minors from other countries. So we're always trying to educate our communities on the youth that we work with and where they're coming from, and figure out ways for them to be included better. So that's definitely huge for my program.
Yeah, I would imagine that there are not near enough places to place these kids as there are kids who need.
That's correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The state of Michigan overall has a very large foster home shortage. There's about 13,000 children in foster care in Michigan and only about 6,000 foster homes.
So, I mean, is that double, triple, quadruple up?
That's a big deficit for sure.
Yeah.
Some homes take more than one youth, and that's fantastic. But we definitely need more homes.
Especially for these teenage youth.
Yes,
Yeah.
teenagers are very hard to place.
Mm-hmm. I would imagine. Now, bilingual too, that's an issue, I'm sure, as well.
Yep.
You guys have a lot on your plates,
We do.
We're busy.
but you're dealing with it.
We are. It keeps every day going. We're here to make a difference, and I think that we're doing okay.
Okay. Now, for the obvious, I mean, obviously you got a whole lot more than you can place. What happens then?
So in my program, youth will be referred to other programs like ours throughout the state, or throughout the country, I'm sorry. So there's not a whole ton of refugee foster care programs, but there are other ones. So they may be referred to places like that. And in some instances, they'll be in shelters. And for our overseas youth, they remain in a refugee
So
camp.
there's a great need. Everybody needs to jump in and help
Yes.
here a little bit. And your program is great with the education. That makes a huge difference, as we know. Well, thanks for talking with us about it. If you would like to learn more about Samaritas, visit samaritas.org.